Hi, welcome back to the Planet Love channel. My name is Ines and welcome to my September plan with me. I hope you had a really lovely August and a nice end to the summer and are ready to welcome the autumn months because I know that I am. Here I'm doing the quote-unquote boring part of the setup, which is all of my grids and numbers for my calendars and also for my trackers. This month I've gone for an interesting color scheme, one that I've not used before. It's this warmish autumnal brown paired with a cooler toned lilac color. Not colors that I would normally pair together, but I ended up really liking how they looked. And I've used this parchment paper as well. I think that's what it's called. I just got it from the post office for the detailing around the setup pages. And I've also used this grid pattern washi tape on top of that, and I think it looks really nice. They're kind of semi-translucent, if that's the word I'm looking for. I've gone for like a scrapbooky theme, so that sort of handmade, handcrafted feel where the edges are quite torn. I didn't use scissors for any of the washi tape or the paper. I've just torn them with my hands, which is a lot more rustic and a lot more personal, I think, is how it looks. I've also used a black pen to write all of the titles, and later on you'll see I use a white gel pen for a bit more of the detailing and doodles around it, because I think the contrasts look really nice, especially with like the mix of warm toned and cool toned colors, both in the browns and the purples. And I've doodled all around the lettering as well and just around the pages, again to give that kind of like homemade scrapbook feel. I explained in my last plan with me how I like having these two types of calendars. The grid version I think lets me see things at a glance, and here I have a key so that I can just do small notations, and then on the other side I can write in detail any plans that I have. My trackers I've also kept the same with the sleep and the water. What I actually really like to do is track the hours that I sleep, so I can see both how long I slept for and when I was asleep for. Because I'm actually really bad when it comes to sleep, especially in the summer. I tend to sleep really late, but then wake up early at the same time, and I'm trying to fix that. I do tend to fix it by the time it gets to autumn because I think it's just the weather is better for me. On the other side, I'm doing my habit trackers. I also don't track that many habits. It's actually, I think, more of an account of what I have done in terms of some of my hobbies. I track my reading, my art and music related activities, and it really just lets me see how often I do those things, because I think it's hard to actually keep track of how often you do your hobbies, especially if you're busy doing other things. You might end up not having done any sort of art or anything in a really long time, and that's why you're feeling uninspired. Here you can see I've done a few mistakes. I do tend to just go in without thinking, and I don't plan things out. I like doing things freehand, but it does come with mistakes sometimes. The benefits of having a grid style journal actually is that for lines where you followed the lines on the grid, if you kind of erase them or cover them up with a white gel pen, it's a lot harder to see because it just kind of looks like the lines that were already there. And here again, I'm just adding a few more doodles. I think it just adds a little bit of an edge, a bit of color to the page. For my quotes page, I've chosen a lyric from one of my favorite singers of all time, my favorite artist, IU. She is a South Korean singer, K-pop singer, and this is from her song Palette that she released a few years ago, I think in 2017, and it says, "I got this, I'm truly fine." It's a song about it's sort of a coming of age, but more of an adult coming of age rather than like a teenage one. Where the song talks about turning 25, which hits home for me because I have recently turned 25 as well. And it's just being in your mid-20s, coming to terms with yourself, coming to terms with things that you like, maybe becoming more mature in some ways and staying the same in other ways. And I just think it's a really nice quote to know that, you know, you're sure of yourself, you've got this, you're fine. And I drew a little like torn out page around it. Again, I think it gives that feel of like that it's homemade, that this is just a note that I wrote and I stuck it into my journal without it being an actual note. Another reason I think I've gone for this sort of theme, like a notebook, a scrapbook, is because I really still associate September with school, with academia. I loved school all throughout my life. I loved university, I loved going to school, and I now still work in academia and I love that. So to me, September is still like the new year. September is like my second new year and I love that. because, you know, it's the start of the academic year, and it's also, I think, because it's the summer holidays, and in general, just like the summer months are very long, and it's more about relaxing and having fun, and it's a bit more upbeat. Whereas come September, it feels like you're kind of getting your act together again. You're reorganizing. It's a time to reflect, a time to calm down a little bit. It's kind of a calm before the storm, because obviously then afterwards is the holiday season where it gets busy in a whole new type of way. And September just to me seems really cozy. I love autumn. It's my favorite season. I think September might be my favorite month. And it's for all of those reasons, the kind of calm, cozy aspects of autumn. And I also just love the colors. I love the changing of the seasons. I love the trees becoming yellow and red, and I love the crisp air, and even like the colder weather is kind of nice. You get to wrap up in scarves and everything. So yeah, this is my setup. I really do love the contrast of the colors. I've got the warm tones, the cool tones, the black and the white to contrast together, and the kind of messy but still pretty, I suppose, look of the whole thing. So yeah, that's my setup for this month. I really hope you enjoyed it. Any stationery that I used will be in the description below, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more videos in the future. I hope you have a great autumn season, a great September, and I will see you next time. Bye!